Did you know that the greatest enemy of the Egyptian gods was not a rival deity, not a demon, but a cosmic serpent that was born at the same moment as creation itself, a being that can never be killed and whose only goal is to devour the sun and unmake reality? They told you the story of Apep, or Apophis, was a simple myth about the battle between light and darkness, a primitive tale of a sun god fighting a snake. They made him the villain, the Egyptian devil, a monster to be feared and condemned. But that is the lie. A lie of spiritual simplification, designed to trap you in a childish game of good versus evil, and to hide from you one of the most terrifying, profound, and necessary truths of your own existence. Apep is not the devil. He is not an external enemy to be vanquished. He is a fundamental law of the universe. He is the principle of entropy, of dissolution, of the great, intelligent void that is the shadow of all creation, and his story is not a myth. It is a precise, coded map of the war that is being waged right now within your own consciousness. To understand the truth, you must first be willing to walk through the corridors of the lie. The esoteric story, the one carved on temple walls for the masses, is a story of terror. In the beginning, there was order. Ma'at, embodied by the glorious sun god, Ra. But for order to exist, there must be its opposite, chaos, or Isfet. And the ultimate embodiment of this chaos was Apep. He was not one of many monsters. He was the monster. He was chaos given form. The ancient texts describe him in language dripping with fear. He is a serpent of impossible size, his body stretching for hundreds of miles, his scales harder than flint, his bones like iron. He is not a creature of the earth or the sky, but of the deep darkness, the primordial abyss that lies beneath the created world. He is the encircler of the world, the enemy, the serpent of rebirth, a name that hints at a deeper, cyclical function that the priests themselves fear to fully comprehend. His existence is a singular, horrifying purpose: to swallow the sun. The nightly journey of Ra through the Duat, the underworld, is not a peaceful procession. It is a desperate flight for survival. As Ra's solar bark enters the darkness, Apep awakens. His roar is not a sound. It is a negation of sound, a vibration of anti-existence that can shake the souls of the gods themselves. The spells recorded in the funerary texts speak of him hypnotizing the entire crew of the solar bark, freezing them with his gaze, trying to strand them in the eternal darkness. He creates sandbanks in the celestial river to ground the ship. He tries to drain the waters of the underworld, to leave them stranded. His attack is relentless, multifaceted, and aimed at the single goal of annihilation. The response of the Egyptians was one of active, magical warfare. They did not simply pray for Ra's victory, they participated in it. Priests performed elaborate rituals night after night, detailed in sacred texts like the Book of Overthrowing Apep. They would write his name in red ink, the color of chaos, on papyrus, then spit on it and burn it. They would craft wax effigies of the serpent, bind them, stab them with knives, and cast them into the fire, all while chanting powerful incantations to magically weaken the beast and aid the gods in their nightly battle. This was a civilization in a state of perpetual war with a cosmic principle. They saw the world in a stark duality. The light of Ra was life, and the darkness of Apep was the end of all things. This is the story you were given, a story of a righteous god against a demonic serpent, a story of light versus dark, good versus evil, It is a narrative that is simple, clean, and emotionally satisfying. It gives you a clear enemy to hate and a clear hero to cheer for. And it is this very simplicity that makes it such a powerful tool of spiritual control, because it trains you to see the world and yourself in this same false duality. It teaches you to fear the darkness, to condemn the chaos, and to seek a life of pure, uninterrupted light. It is a beautiful story, and it has kept you from the truth your entire life. Now, it is time to put away childish things. It is time to look into the serpent's eyes and see not a monster, but a mirror. Now we must step behind the veil, into the silent, esoteric truth that the priests guarded from the masses. To understand Apep, you cannot begin with his battle against Ra. You must begin before Ra. You must go back to the moment before the first moment. Before creation, there was only Atum, the unmanifest, the primordial totality, existing in the silent, watery abyss of the Nun. He was all potential, but no actuality. For creation to occur, Atum had to become aware of himself. He had to create from within himself, and in that first act, the first division of unity into duality, the universe was born. The first thing to emerge was Ra, the principle of light, of order, of being, of consciousness directed outward. But the law of polarity is absolute. For something to exist, the potential for its non-existence must also be created. The moment being was defined, non-being was given a name. The moment light exploded into existence, it cast a shadow. That shadow is Apep. He was not a mistake. He was not a rebellious angel or a fallen god. He was an integral and necessary component of the equation of creation itself. He is the other half. He is the universe's memory of the perfect, silent unity that existed before the trauma of creation. He is the umbilical cord that still connects the manifest world to the unmanifest void. This is why he can never be killed. To kill Apep would be to destroy the principle of non-being. And to do that would be to collapse the entire structure of a polarized reality. Without darkness, light has no meaning. Without chaos, order has no context. Without the potential for death, life has no urgency. To destroy Apep would be to unmake the universe just as surely as if he were to swallow the sun. The gods do not seek to kill him because they cannot. He is as fundamental as they are. This transforms the nightly battle from a war into something far more profound. It is a ritual of balance. Apep is not evil. To label him as such is to apply a human moral judgment to a cosmic physical law. Apep is entropy. In physics, entropy is the measure of disorder in a system. The second law of thermodynamics states that the entropy of an isolated system will always increase over time. Order decays into disorder. Complexity breaks down into simplicity. This is a fundamental law of our universe. Apep is the personification of this law. He is the relentless pressure that all ordered systems, from a star to a civilization to a single human life, feel the constant pull to break down, to fall apart, to return to a state of inert, chaotic potential. His hunger to swallow the sun is not malice. It is physics. The void seeks to reclaim the energy that was borrowed from it to create the universe. The bubble of manifest reality is floating in an infinite ocean of unmanifest potential. Apep is the pressure of that ocean, constantly pressing in on the bubble, seeking to collapse it. This is the terrifying truth. The state of creation is not the default. the state of non-creation is. Existence is not a given. It is a constant, moment-to-moment achievement. It is a state of incredible tension, a constant act of pushing back against the infinite gravitational pull of the void. Ra is the force of that pushing. He is the will of the universe to be. And Apep is the force that questions that will. This is why the victory can never be final. The battle must be waged every single night because the law of entropy never sleeps. The pressure of the void is eternal. The moment Ra ceases his journey, the moment he gives in, the moment the light falters, the serpent will consume him. Not out of hatred, but because that is its nature, that is its function. The story of Apep is not the story of a war against evil. It is the story of the terrible, beautiful, and unending effort that is existence itself. If Apep is not an enemy to be destroyed, but a fundamental law to be navigated, then his function in the cosmos must be re-examined. He is not a flaw in the system. He is an essential part of its design. Without him, the universe would be a spiritual prison. Apep is the great initiator. He is the ultimate catalyst for evolution. His constant pressure is what forces consciousness to become stronger, more coherent, and more self-aware. Without the threat of dissolution, there would be no impetus to grow. Life would become stagnant, placid, and meaningless. The soul, without a shadow to contend with, would have no reason to cultivate its own light. Think of Ra's journey. It is not a simple commute from horizon to horizon. It is a trial, a test, a process of constant renewal that is made necessary only by the existence of Apep. The serpent is the personal trainer of the gods. His nightly attack forces Ra and his defenders to be eternally vigilant. It forces them to hone their powers, to coordinate their efforts, to reaffirm their commitment to the principle of order. Every night that they succeed, they are not just surviving, they are becoming stronger. They are proving, once again, that the will to exist is stronger than the pull of the void. Chaos is the whetstone that sharpens the blade of consciousness. You have felt this in your own life. Your greatest moments of growth, your most profound leaps in awareness, did they come from times of comfort and ease? Or did they come from the crucible of crisis, from the moments when you were forced to confront your own darkness, your own potential for failure, your own Apep? The serpent is not the enemy of your evolution. He is the engine of it. This is why Ra does not and cannot face the serpent alone. The assembly of gods on the solar bark is not a random collection of allies. It is a precise diagram of the faculties of an integrated consciousness, the tools you must awaken within yourself to navigate your own inner darkness. At the prow of the ship, taking the brunt of the serpent's assault, stands Set. This is the great paradox that the esoteric myths can never explain. Set, the god of chaos, the murderer of Osiris, the very force that represents the disruptive power of the ego, is the chief defender against the greater chaos of Apep. This is a profound alchemical secret. It teaches that you cannot confront the void, the ultimate darkness, with light alone. You cannot love and light your way past existential terror. You need a part of you that is as fierce, as strong, and as primal as the darkness you are facing. You need your integrated ego. Set represents your discipline, your willpower, your sacred aggression, your instinctual and grounded power. He is the part of you that can look into the abyss and not flinch, the part that can hold the line when all seems lost. Without Set, the bark would be overwhelmed. But strength without wisdom is just brutality. It can hold the line, but it cannot find the way. That is why Thoth is also on the bark. Thoth, the principle of divine intellect and cosmic law, is the navigator. He does not fight the serpent with a spear, he fights it with knowledge. He understands the serpent's nature, its patterns, its tricks. He uses his wisdom to steer the bark through the magical illusions and hypnotic spells that Apep casts. Thoth is your higher mind, your self-awareness, your ability to see the patterns in your own chaos and to not be deceived by the stories your fear tells you. He is the faculty that allows you to navigate the treacherous waters of your own subconscious without getting lost. And there is Isis, the great goddess of magic and intuition. She represents a form of power that is neither the brute force of Set nor the intellectual knowledge of Thoth. She is your deep, non-rational knowing. She fights Apep not by attacking him directly, but by using her magic to bind him, to confuse him, to use the serpent's own chaotic energy against itself. She is the part of you that can feel the right path, that can trust a gut feeling, that can find a creative solution that logic could never reach. To successfully navigate the duat, you need all three: the strength of Set, the wisdom of Thoth, and the intuition of Isis. You need an integrated psyche, a trinity of power, with your own awakened consciousness, your inner Ra, at the center, holding them all in balance. The nightly ritual is therefore not a battle for supremacy, but an act of recalibration. It is the dynamic and living process of Ma'at, divine order, maintaining its integrity in the face of Isfet, cosmic chaos. True order is not a rigid, static state. It is not a fortress with no enemies. It is a living, breathing dance with its own shadow. It is the constant process of confronting chaos, integrating its lessons, and reaffirming the primacy of consciousness. The universe does not exist by destroying chaos. It exists by containing it, by using its pressure to forge something even more beautiful and resilient. The existence of Apep is not a flaw in creation. It is the secret of its eternal strength. The serpent is not the problem. He is the point. Now, we must bring this cosmic drama out of the realm of myth and into the only place it has ever truly mattered: your own soul. This is not a story about a god. This is a story about your nervous system. This is a story about the chemical reactions in your brain and the energetic currents in your body. The war between Ra and Apep is not an ancient history. It is your present reality. Apep is your shadow self. He is your personal entropy, the deep subconscious pull within you towards self-destruction. He is the voice of your addiction that whispers, "Just one more time." He is the heavy blanket of your depression that tells you to stay in bed, that nothing matters. He is the sharp, cold panic of your anxiety that convinces you that you are unsafe. He is your procrastination, your self-sabotage, the part of you that compulsively repeats the patterns that you know are destroying you. He is the inner critic that hisses that you are not worthy, not capable, not enough. He is the deep biological craving for the peace of unconsciousness, the sweet, numb comfort of not having to try anymore. You have been taught to see these things as flaws, as illnesses, as parts of you that are wrong. You have been taught to fight them, to medicate them, to suppress them, but you have only been fighting a shadow. You have been at war with a fundamental principle of your own being. Your conscious life is the solar bark. Every day that you wake up and choose to engage with the world, to create, to learn, to love, you are Ra, sailing the sunlit sky. Your will, your focus, your attention, that is the light that you bring to the world. But every night, when you go to sleep, you enter the duat. Your dream state is a literal journey through your subconscious. And every moment of your waking life when you fall into distraction, when you are overwhelmed by stress, When you face a crisis that shatters your sense of self, you are descending into the underworld. And there, in the darkness, your personal Apep is always waiting. The moments of overwhelming doubt, the sudden waves of despair, the powerful, irrational temptations to fall back into your oldest, most destructive habits. That is, the serpent rising to swallow your light. It is not an attack from an external force. It is a signal from within. It is the voice of all your unhealed wounds, all your repressed fears, all your disowned parts, demanding to be seen. You have spent your life trying to kill this serpent. You have tried to reason with it. You have tried to ignore it. You have tried to numb it. And you have failed every single time. You have failed because your goal was wrong. You cannot kill the part of you that is the shadow of your own light. To try is to lock yourself in a brutal, lifelong civil war within your own soul. The only path is to stop fighting and to start navigating. You must become the captain of your own solar bark. You must learn to consciously use the tools that the myth has shown you. You must awaken your inner set. This is your discipline. This is your willpower. This is the part of you that can set a boundary, that can say no to the addictive impulse, that can get out of bed when the serpent of depression is whispering for you to stay. It is your sacred primal strength. But strength alone will make you rigid and brittle. You must also awaken your inner thoth. This is your self-awareness. This is your wisdom. This is the part of you that can observe your own destructive patterns without judgment, that can understand the root of your fears, that can see the lies that your inner serpent is telling you. It is your ability to learn, to strategize, to find the path through the darkness, and you must awaken your inner Isis. This is your intuition. This is your creativity. This is your ability to love the parts of you that you have been taught to hate. It is the sacred magic that can take the poison of your trauma and transmute it into the medicine of your compassion. Most people are adrift in their own underworld. Their bark has no captain. Set, Thoth, and Isis are asleep. And so they are at the mercy of the serpent. They are thrown around by their moods, their triggers, their subconscious programming. They are living as effects, not causes. The spiritual path is the process of waking up at the helm of the ship. It is the conscious decision to stop being a victim of your own inner chaos and to become the master navigator of it. You do not kill the serpent. You learn to ride its powerful currents. You learn to anticipate its attacks. You learn to journey through its dark waters every single night and to emerge every single morning, not just unscathed, but stronger, wiser, and more whole than you were before. The struggle is not a sign that you are failing. The struggle is the path. The presence of your inner serpent is not a curse. It is the divine challenge that gives your existence meaning, the cosmic pressure that will force you eventually to become a god. You cannot kill the serpent that lives within you. It is not an invader. It is a part of your own cosmic architecture. It was born with your light, and it will be with you until the very end. The battle is eternal. This is the most difficult and liberating truth. There is no final victory. There is no day when you will finally vanquish your shadow and live in a state of perfect, untroubled light. To seek such a state is to seek a spiritual death, a static perfection that is alien to the nature of a living, evolving universe. The goal is not to end the war. The goal is to become a master warrior. The goal is to learn to dance with the chaos, to find your center in the heart of the storm. So the question is not how you will win the war. The question is, what will you become in the process of fighting it every single night for the rest of your life? Will you become bitter exhausted and cynical, a perpetual victim of your own inner darkness? Or will you become like Ra, resilient, wise, and eternally reborn? Will you allow the pressure of the serpent to crush you, or will you use it to forge yourself into something divine? Every time you face your fear and do not back down, you are strengthening your inner set. Every time you observe your self-destructive thoughts without identifying with them, you are polishing the mind of your inner Thoth. Every time you meet your own pain with compassion instead of judgment, you are activating the magic of your inner Isis. You are not just getting through the night, you are assembling your divine crew. This is the great hidden purpose of your life. It is not to accumulate wealth or status or pleasant experiences. It is to undertake this sacred journey through your own inner duat and to emerge as a fully integrated being, a conscious master of both your light and your darkness. The systems of the world are designed to keep you from this work. They offer you endless distractions, entertainment, politics, consumerism, to keep you from ever having to look into the dark. They offer you endless anesthetics, drugs, alcohol, mindless scrolling, to numb you to the serpent's whispers. They do this because a population that is at war with itself is a population that is easy to control. A human being who has made peace with their own shadow, who has integrated their own power, is sovereign. They cannot be manipulated by fear because they have faced the ultimate fear and endured. They cannot be seduced by false promises of comfort because they have found their strength in the heart of discomfort. You are here at this moment because a part of you is tired of the shallow story. A part of you is ready to take the helm of your own ship. Do not curse the serpent. Do not fear the darkness. See it for what it is. It is your initiator. It is your sparring partner. It is the shadow that gives your light its brilliance. The journey is not about finding a safe harbor where the serpent cannot reach you. The journey is about becoming such a masterful sailor that you can navigate any storm. You are not here to escape the darkness. You are here to become the light that can journey through it again and again, and in doing so, prove the eternal resilience of consciousness itself. The serpent is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your godhood. Now that you know the rules of the engagement, the true nature of your enemy, the purpose of the struggle, how will you proceed? Will you be the victim that is devoured, or the god that endures the night and commands the dawn? The choice is yours, every single moment. If this video resonated with you, let us know by commenting. I understood it.